Hi, I'm Melinda with Bean Hoppers Coffee, and today I'm going to show you how to make espresso at home without the use of an espresso machine. I'm going to show you how to use a couple different methods and make a couple different drinks. So let's get started. So the first method we're going to go over is the Aeropress coffee maker. And what you're going to need for this method is an Aeropress coffee maker, all the parts that come with it, the scoop, the paper filters, and the funnel. You'll also need freshly ground coffee, a coffee of your choice, and I would recommend Bean Hoppers Espresso Celebration. And you're also going to need a couple of aftermarket parts to make the espresso work. You're going to need a spice jar. I know, a little weird, but it doesn't have to be a Lowry's jar. It just should be somewhat like this shape. This is a small Lowry's jar, and I'm using it as a tamper. The next aftermarket part I recommend is using a mesh metal filter, and this one's made by Coretto, and they have a pack of 3 filters in here, and I am using the ultra fine mesh filter. The reason we use the metal filter is because if you look at an espresso machine portafilter, you'll notice that the portafilter basket is made of metal. And that allows the coffee's oils to go through and actually extracts the oils out of the coffee and creates a crema. So it actually makes your coffee taste more full and rich, and it makes you more closer to espresso. So the one caveat I'm going to tell you though is that you'll never get true espresso with anything except a real espresso machine. What I mean is only an espresso machine can create enough pressure to extract all of the oils and create the layer on top of the coffee. It's called crema, and that's where every other home espresso method is going to be a little inferior. However, this is actually the closest I've ever come to tasting like real espresso at home without an espresso machine. So that's why I highly recommend it. So here we go. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have to have a cute cup. Cute cups are recommended because they make you feel better and they make you happy. And then, so you pull the filter basket off the bottom of the Aeropress. You put the metal filter in. Now, some people who do this also like to use a second filter so that there's no sediment in the coffee, and that's optional. I actually prefer not using it because it creates so much pressure, and it's already so hard to push when I do that. Finely ground coffee, and I'm using the Aeropress scooper. And 2 scoops of finely ground coffee of your choice. This is Bean Hoppers Espresso Celebration. There we go, 2 scoops. And next is the tricky part. I'm gonna kind of even it out by tapping it and shaking it just a tad. The tricky part is you take the paper filter, you rinse it with the hot water without burning your hand. And then you take your tamper and you put the filter on top of your tamper, AKA spice jar, and you tamp down the coffee grounds into the coffee maker. You want to kind of do it pretty firm, but not so firm you're not going to be able to get the water through the coffee. And then I turn it just a touch so that it doesn't stick to the lid, and there you have your coffee filter pressed down onto the coffee grounds. You take your water as hot as you can get it, even close to boiling, because when you make espresso, you want to extract all the flavor. You pour it up to the 2 mark on the coffee maker, up to the 2, and you start plunging as fast as you can and as hard as you can. And it's gonna take some elbow grease. It's actually pretty hard to push down, and I'm struggling. And I hear it hiss, and I got it all the way down. Woo, that was tough. But you're gonna see, what you're gonna see in here is kind of cool though. There's a tiny bit of frothy, almost crema on the top of that coffee. That's wonderful. This is honestly the best tasting espresso I've ever made at home without an espresso machine. You can do so many things with it, and I'm going to show you how to make an espresso drink. Okay, on to the next method. This method is the Moka pot. You have two different types of versions of the Moka pot. I happen to have the electric one, and they also have one for the stovetop. I prefer the electric one. Super easy. I barely even have to tell you how to use it. So I'm going to show you though, and then we'll make a couple of drinks. So you're going to pull the top of the Moka pot off, and you're going to take out the filter. Now this one also has a metal filter, which helps extract some of the oils into your coffee. And you're going to take fresh filtered water, and you're going to fill it up to the full line. You can see inside there, right, that there's some lines, and you can only fill it up to the top of those lines. So don't go beyond that because you don't want to cover the steam valve, the safety valve. So you have the water, and then you put the filter basket in. So you're gonna fill this filter basket as full as you can. So I used a medium ground coffee for this. I'm not tamping it down, but I'm just leveling it out. So you have the water and the coffee, and this is what makes this electric one so easy. You have it in there and you turn it on. You wait 4 minutes. The type of coffee I use in the Moka pot is more of a medium to a light roast, even if you want an espresso type of drink, because I found that the espressos and the darker roasts tend to taste a little more bitter in this brewing method. And when I use the lighter to medium roasts, it really brings out the acidity and the full flavors of the light and medium coffees. So those are my favorites. So today I used the Rainy Day blend. And look here, you'll see, if you get in here, that you can see that this is filling up. And as it fills up, it'll start to bubble a little bit. And it's still coming out. I like to watch it, and then it'll automatically shut off after a few minutes, but I like to just turn it off, just because I don't want it to sit there and cook and get too hot. But you'll see that on the top of that there's actually a little bit of crema on the top of the coffee, which is awesome because it's extracted all of the oils and into your brew, which is gonna taste amazing. So then what I like to do is serve it. And you can serve it in a couple of little cups and just dollop some whipped cream, or you can make Cuban coffee, or you can throw some creamer in there. And it makes about, you put 8 ounces in there, and it yields about 6 ounces. So let's make an espresso based drink now. I like to use the Barista Edition oat milk, and I like to use the vanilla creamer by Oat Yeah. Now that you know how to make espresso at home, I hope you enjoy it and have fun making some new drinks. You can swing by beanhoppers.com and pick up an Aeropress in our store, as well as some coffee beans to try out your own drinks. Don't forget to pick up one of these hand frothers so you can have creamy cappuccinos. And I'll leave a link below so you can find a Moka pot. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like it below, share it, and subscribe to my station. Thanks for watching and have a great day.